Okay, greetings. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another different one. Y'all know I'm very diverse. I'm throwing a lot of things out here. Another thing that I like to focus on is obviously, health of the body. And that's what we're going to focus on talking about today. Today's topic is food combining, because all this time you've been combining your food improperly. And when you combine your food improperly, it leads to dis-ease of the body. Yes, this is why a lot of people have went vegan or alkaline or whatever title you put on it, that you thought that you started eating healthier so that your body could begin to heal. But it didn't begin to heal. And for some people it doesn't work. And for some people it's literally just because even though you have cut out animal products, dairy, a lot of that stuff that at this point we should know is deteriorating the body, but you're still not pairing your foods properly, which is why there is still deterioration of the body. Your body is still creating toxins, and all in all, you're still not feeling healthy as you thought you would feel when you made that switch. So I'm going to tell you about the absolute do nots about food combining, and I'm also going to tell you about the do's of food combining. That way you can begin to start practicing on your own. I recommend, taking out something to write with just so you can remember, because this is gonna get really real. And basically I want to just say that basically when you combine foods the wrong way, it leads to cellular waste, which then congests the tissues of the body, which create toxins that pollute the brain, the cells, the bones, the blood, the nerves, everything. So all of that happens just from improperly combining foods. Like, wow. And then another crazy thing about it is that everything that we thought was right when it comes to food combining is actually very wrong. And this is what I'm about to get into right now. So the first one, animal flesh. I know some people still eat meat. I personally don't eat meat, but this isn't just about me. Even if you eat meat, I want to help you too. So when you're consuming animal flesh should not be consumed with a carb or a fruit. So like honey ham, orange chicken, all of that, you should never be eating a fruit with a meat. You also should never be eating a carb with a meat. So a lot of our dinner plates are all messed up. Chicken, macaroni and cheese, rice. No, you're never supposed to mix it. Chicken nuggets and french fries, never supposed to mix it, because you're mixing a meat with the carb and you're not supposed to do that. So actually animal flesh should be eaten alone. So say you're having chicken or you're having steak, you should cook that and you should eat that by itself. And then an hour later, after that has had the time to digest properly, you can then consume a carb, a vegetable, something along those lines. So a lot of ways that we are completely wrong, and it's pushed as if it's so right, is like hamburgers and chicken sandwiches and stuff like that. Totally terrible for the body, because you're mixing the carbohydrates, which is the bread, and the grains and whatnot, with the meats. And then you have like lettuce, tomatoes. Like, it's too much. Your body doesn't know what to do first. One thing that I should explain is that, okay, basically the reason why you can't mix all of these foods together is because, imagine, I'm gonna use an analogy. So imagine you have two people in your ear, and one person's whispering one message and the other person's whispering a completely, totally different message in your ear at the exact same time. Who are you going to hear? You're 9 times out of 10, you're either going to only hear one of those people, and the other message you're going to completely not get, or you're not going to hear either one of them because you're trying so hard to focus on both of them that you really can't get a focus on either one of them, because you can't listen to two separate things in your ears at one time. And that's pretty much how the body works. When you're eating the chicken, the grains, the vegetable, the body has different mechanisms for digesting all of these different things. And so say you're eating like fried chicken, and then the body is automatically going and thinking, since the chicken is smothered in oil and covered in oil because it was fried, the body automatically has a mechanism that it uses to digest oil. So it's automatically going to start trying to break down the oil and doing all that. Then it has to try, after that is broken down, it has to try to quickly switch over to break down the acidity of the chicken. But 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be able to do it properly, which means that that chicken is then going to rot in your system because it didn't get digested properly, because it was fried in oil and the body could only do one thing at a time. You understand what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how it works. Animal flesh requires acid to digest, and the acid is destroyed by carbohydrates and fruit. That's why you shouldn't eat carbs or fruit with animal flesh, because then the acid that you need to digest that chicken or that steak or whatever has been destroyed by the carbs that you just ate in that rice or that macaroni and cheese or whatever the case may be, or it being smothered in pineapple juice or oranges or whatever, and then the chicken is not getting digested. So then this is why the colons are clogged up. This is why when you move your bowels, it smells like, you know, something is dead or rotten inside of you, because literally it is. And if you must, you should only eat animal flesh with a vegetable. And that's only if you must, but really you should eat it by itself. Never mix sugars with starch, protein, or sugar. Or fruit. So you should never mix sugars with anything. So like when you make oatmeal in the morning, you shouldn't be putting date syrup or any type of syrup into your oatmeal, because then you're covering it with a sugar and a carb. You're covering the sugar, the starch with sugar, which is bad. And then you never should put any type of sweetener on your fruits. So it's already fruit. It's already supposed to be sweet. It has a natural sweetener. Don't sweeten your fruits. Protein, you should not put anything sweet on proteins, which means like, you know, those sweet sauces like that have teriyaki sauce, has sugar in it, and even down to ketchup has a lot of corn syrup in it. Y'all don't even check that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a sugar that you're eating with your meat, and then it's not being digested properly. So it's so much. And basically when you mix sugars with starch, protein, or fruit, it weakens the digestive system and it creates toxins in the body. And then these toxins is, you know, they flow through you. They toxify your blood. You know, you're getting pimples. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff. You should never mix oil with starches. So like fried potatoes and all of that is a no-go, because like I said, just like for the chicken thing that I recommend, that I just said, the body is going to automatically try to break down that oil, and then what's underneath the oil is not going to get digested properly. You should never mix sweet fruits with green fruits. Green fruits are like cucumbers, squash, okra. Those are like things that a lot of people consider vegetables, but they have seeds, so they're actually fruits. So it's sweet fruit. It's green fruits. And you should never be mixing like mango with you know, with cucumber and stuff like that. And a lot of people do that like in smoothies or in juices and stuff like that, and it's not supposed to mix. You should never mix those things, because the fruit will not digest and it'll rot and it'll start to deteriorate the body. So you never ever want to do that. So yeah, you actually should eat fruits with their pears, which I'm gonna get into. Never mix fruits with grains. So how does that go? Like basically like oatmeal again. A lot of people might put raw live fruit in their oatmeal, or you might buy those oatmeal packages that are fruit flavored and stuff like that, and that's a poor combination. That causes fermentation, it stops digestion, and it also causes constipation. And yeah, so that's pretty much that. And those are like the top things that you absolutely should not mix together, because it's very bad for the body. some things that you can mix together when you're beginning. Honestly, keeping it simple, you should keep things with their pairs. Like, you should only eat melons with melons. So a lot of people post fruit bowls, and in your fruit bowl you got every different type of fruit: grapes, cherries, melons, pineapple, all that, and it's actually not being digested properly because you mix too many different type of fruits together, and the digestion for those different fruits is different. So like, together, if you have a fruit bowl or if you're doing a smoothie, you could put cherries, grapes, and berries, because all of those are in the same family, and you could eat those together. When you're eating melons, watermelon, honeydew, cantaloupe, eat those together and eat those alone by themselves. And don't, with fruits are faster to digest, so it only really takes 30 minutes for fruits to digest. So if you eat a melon bowl of fruit, then wait 30 minutes, then eat your berry bowl of fruit, you know, and then go like that. With leafy vegetables, you can combine like your leafy vegetables together, like, you know, kale, spinach, greens, you can combine those together, with, and I mean, that's just pretty much how it goes. Like, for the very most simple thing, you can combine the things that go together. So like, you can combine different type of squashes together. You can combine fruits that are of the same family together. And you determine that like based on how the fruit grows and how it's eaten. Like, fruits that you peel the skin off of, usually you can eat together. Not banana, because banana is a high sugar fruit, and really banana you could eat with like dates or raisins or other very high sugar fruits. But like mango, guava, I mean, is that what's called, guava? I'm not sure, but you can eat those together because they're in the same family. Like apples, pears, you can eat those together because they're in the same family, and just kind of start matching it up like that. That way it's easier for your body to digest. And when you're talking about meals, honestly, I think that we just complicate meals way too much. Your meal, I just told y'all that the whole meat, carb, vegetable in one plate thing is too much, because you're actually pairing it all wrong. So you know, keep that in mind. And I mean, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the basis of it. Some example meals, like the other day, you can mix, from what I know right now, you can mix starch with a vegetable. So like, for the other day, for example, we had spaghetti squash, and I put butternut squash pieces on top of the spaghetti squash, and then we had kale on the side, and that's what we had for dinner. You know, and basically things like that. Like the other day we made rasta pasta, and basically all we put was onions and peppers in the rasta pasta, and we used chickpea noodles for the rasta pasta, and that was not a bad combination, you know what I'm saying, together. But just keep it simple. Even if you have to do things in courses, like, okay, start cooking at, you know, 4, and then y'all have y'all meats first, and you wait an hour, and then y'all have y'all starches and y'all vegetables, like, you know. But definitely start to pay attention to how combining these foods makes you feel, and make sure you don't combine the absolute do nots. Just try to work around those when creating meals. I'm still learning how to combine meals myself. So I do have a cooking channel, which I'll be dropping the link for soon. And yeah, and I can help y'all out with some of that. But that's pretty much the basis of it. You know, comment, like, subscribe, do whatever you feel drawn to do, and I'm out.